Let's go to get that next guest up in the box, everybody. Holy crap, y'all. We're going to move on to the next guest. Guys, go ahead and drop a maggot down below in that chat if you want to come up. We got Grumpy Old Man joining the live. Hello, Grumpy Old Man. Are you a grumpy old man?
No, I'm positive, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Are you a MAGA man?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, great. Before we hop into our debate, Charles, thank you so much for the $10 on YouTube Super Chat. That means the world. Thank you so much. If you're watching and you want to support me, Venmo and PayPal could be found in the link tree in my bio. You get a notification on the top of my phone screen. I'm able to read out your name and amount as well as an attached message. It's also in the pinned message over on the YouTube stream. But Mr. Grumpy Old Man, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Well, I do support for a lot of reasons. His immigration policies and kind of piggyback off what Jane has said with the transgender situation. I
Okay,
think
I'm
she,
not gonna lie,
like,
man. I'm not gonna give any more airtime to transphobes to be transphobic.
all
I
right,
had the debate with her. I could have it again with
fair
you, but
enough.
at the end of the day, trans individuals account for 0.1% of the population. They don't harm, hurt, or affect you in the slightest. And like, hopefully, you'd acknowledge that shouldn't be a reason why you voted for Trump when he's been convicted of more felonies and accused of rape by more women than there's T women in the NCAA. But go ahead.
But we can talk the immigration policy if you want too.
Sure, for sure. So you support his immigration policy. Can you name like one
Correct.
long-term immigration policy that Donald Trump has ever passed or advocated to be passed?
Well, he started the border patrol with the wall and everything, and then that kind of got shut down during the whole COVID process, and then Biden took over and stopped that. But I find it interesting how everybody's won due process now when Obama deported like 3 million plus people without due process. I think Biden was like 2.8 million people without due process. So
Okay, so if Obama deported 3 million people without due process and Biden deported 2.8 million people with due process, there should be like one court ruling for one of the undocumented immigrants that had their constitutional rights violated. Can you show me where SCOTUS ruled that they violated immigrants' due process? Like they ruled that Trump violated Abrigo Armando Garcia's right to due process?
I think if Biden or Kamala or someone did this with Garcia, it wouldn't have been an issue. But the fact that
So it's
it's
not the
Trump,
question that I asked you. I'm just asking you to show me where SCOTUS ruled that they violated the due process of undocumented migrants like they did to Trump.
I do not know case offhand.
So how are you telling me that they were able to illegally deport 2.8 million people without being contested by a single court?
That's what the numbers are. I don't know. You tell me.
That's not what the numbers are. Those are made up numbers.
Like if you type in Google how many people Obama deported without due process, it'll tell you like 3 million people.
Says who?
Just a Google reference.
Well, what's the reference on Google? Like, what's the source? Because it's obviously not a court. So what is it?
I would have. I mean, I don't have the capability of doing multi frames. So I'd go teacup mode.
Well, I think that you should because I don't really appreciate it when people join my live and blatantly spew misinformation. Be honest, did you get this off of a Facebook meme?
No, Google research.
Okay, so then you should be able to provide me a source.
I mean, I can go teacup mode if you would like.
I would like you to do that. Yeah.
All right, 1 second.
Fucking sounds good. I would love a source for the single-handedly the most preposterous claim that has been made yet on this stream that Obama deported 3 million undocumented immigrants and violated the constitutional rights of every single one. While that guy's looking for the source, we'll go ahead and get another guest up here just to kind of fill the blank space. We got that next guest loading in as we speak, everybody. So if you'd like to come up and debate with him, let me know down below in that chat, and I will load you into the stream. Let's see if we could get Mel up in here. I'd really like to thank JT for the $2 on PayPal. Thank you for the love, JT. That's incredibly kind of you. As well, Samantha, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo. Samantha says, thanks for spreading the truth, Samantha. That is incredibly kind of you, and thank you so much for the $20. Huge shout out to Samantha. As well as I'd like to thank Nina. Nina, thank you so much for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat, saying that Trump is disappearing people. That he is, and that is very bad. What's up, Mel? Do you support Trump?
Oh my God, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm so excited.
Do you
I
support Trump?
didn't think that I was gonna come up here.
Based upon
And
how excited you are, leads me to believe that you are not a Trump supporter.
yes, I'm not. I have a question for you, and I
I'm
don't.
so sorry. Bro, okay, hey, I'm sorry for kicking you, even though you said that you were excited. I really do feel bad doing
I
that.
did find that page whenever you got a minute.
Sweet. So, like, please join my Discord. I'd love to take a question. Yeah, for sure. You said that you have found a source to indicate that Obama
It,
illegally
it,
deported 300 million undocumented migrants.
no, 3 million, not 300 million. 3 million.
3 million, sorry.
NPR.org.
NPR? Okay. What's the title of NPR's article?
Jesus Christ! Now I gotta do everything. I gotta do all your research for you. Hold on.
So, sir, I adhere and uphold the MLA standards of citation in this live. I'm not asking you to do anything that your 11th grade English teacher would have asked you to do. So don't act like I'm the issue.
It just says Obama's deportation.
Okay, here's a difference. Your claim is that he illegally deported 3 million undocumented immigrants, not that he deported 3 million undocumented immigrants. Your claim was that he illegally deported them, violating their right to due process, not that he deported them. Did you know that you could legally deport an undocumented immigrant without violating their legal right to due process?
Alien Invasion Act and all that, but how's that not possible with Garcia when he was a known terrorist threat, known gang member?
What crime had been brought against Armando Garcia?
Well, I know there was charges with him beating his wife.
So that's actually not true.
There was charges filed. There were never
There was
charged,
never
actually.
criminal charges filed against Garcia. Wrong. Would you like to bet?
Yes.
How much would you? How much?
I mean, I don't know how much can you afford.
I could afford anything that you can. What amount?
5K.
5K?
5K.
Will you be a man of your word if I prove you wrong?
Will you be a man of your word?
Yes.
Are you saying he was never arrested for beating his wife?
Yeah, he was never charged with any
Domestic
crime.
assault.
I am saying he was never charged.
He was never charged, but he was arrested.
So in order to be arrested for a crime, you have to be charged with one. Therefore, he was never arrested either.
Incorrect. You get arrested, you go to jail, and then they can drop charges to where there's no criminal charges.
You just say it. You just said it yourself. They dropped the charges. Boom.
So he was arrested for it, though, yes or no?
No, because he was never charged with it.
He went to jail for domestic violence, yes or no?
No. So
Yes.
anyways,
yes.
I'll accept that. I'll accept the bet for 5K.
There was arrest record that he was arrested.
No,
and then he went to jail and was released
No,
with
no.
charges dropped.
No. Exactly.
You're backtracking, yes.
No, I'm actually not backtracking. Let's accept the bet. Let's accept the bet. Okay. If I could prove you
Are
wrong,
you saying he was never put in handcuffs?
if I could prove you wrong, you owe me 5K. If you could prove me wrong, you owe me 5K. Are you ready?
Perfect.
So here is a Supreme Court ruling from April 10th, 2025. The very last sentence of this paragraph reads, once again, this is coming from the Supreme Court, that Abrego Garcia responds that he is not a member of MS-13 and that he has lived safely in the United States with
I've
his
seen your
family
little
for a
AI chat
decade,
before.
and he has never been charged with a crime. So I would like it to be pointed out
Over the
that
decade.
the SCOTUS does
From a
agree
decade.
that,
From a
that he
decade.
has never been charged with a crime.
From a decade ago.
He's only been in America for a decade, sir.
He's been in America since he was like 15.
We could debate that after you give me $5,000.
He's been in America since he's like 15. He's been deported once and came back.
I don't care. We could debate that one after you give me 5K.
Are you saying he's not?
I'm saying that we could talk about that after you pay up and you Venmo or PayPal me $5,000 because you accepted the bet.
Hold on, man. Let me teak up this again.
Okay, feel free. I don't know where you're going because here's the Supreme Court saying that he's never been charged with a crime. You know, like I don't understand what you could possibly come up with that is more compelling than this. Then, I mean, as it relates to quote unquote beating his wife. So, I mean, this is what she said. I'm just going to be quoting her is that he never touched her. He never hit her. However, she did pursue in a civil, not criminal court, no crime, protective order against him because they were having verbal conflict. And out of precaution, because she had been abused in a past relationship, she pursued a civil protective order. However, she ultimately dropped that pursuing by not showing up to her court appearance because they were able to interpersonally resolve it, which is all outside of criminal behavior, all outside of being charged or arrested for a crime, who's never been charged with a crime, never arrested for a crime because you have to be charged in order to be arrested. And the Supreme Court SCOTUS agrees, including 3 conservative justices that Trump elected. And then, of course, the overall 6-3 conservative leaning court. You owe me $5,000.
That's not true, though. You can be arrested without being convicted and charged.
You have to be charged in order to be arrested.
I've been arrested before, unfortunately, but no. They say you're innocent until proven guilty.
I know, and a charge is not guilt. It's basically them saying...
Being arrested and being charged are 2 different things.
So you get So in order to be arrested, what do the police have to have?
Suspicion of a crime.
Reasonable suspicion of a crime. And what is a
Correct.
charge?
You being actually charged with that crime.
Okay, yeah, you're being charged because they have that
Well,
reasonable
with that
suspicion.
crime.
And that charge, the first process of a criminal charge is being arrested. But once again, he was never charged and he was never arrested. So you owe me $5,000.
He was arrested.
No, he wasn't.
He was put in handcuffs, brought to the jail, and then was released.
Did he have his charges dropped?
Yes.
So that would
But
imply
being-
that he was charged, right?
No, but
Wait, are
he's
you
not
saying?
charged. He's
Wait.
released.
So I just want to clarify that you're saying he had charges dropped, but he wasn't charged. That's like me saying I took my shoes off, but I never had shoes on to begin with.
He was placed under arrest and brought to the jail, and then was released.
And had charges dropped.
Charges dropped. Yes, that's what I said the whole time.
When you say that he had charges dropped, that means that originally you're saying he was charged with a crime. You first have to be charged with a crime in order to have charges dropped for a crime.
His girlfriend, wife at the time, wanted to press charges, but dropped the charges.
So, no, you're wrong. It was a civil protective order in which she pursued that it's not a criminal charge. So you owe me $5,000.
For abuse. For abuse.
So now you pay me $5,000.
Then also, I find it funny how
No,
you talk about
not also.
Trump's past.
No, also.
When you have text messages drop the N-word.
Okay, yeah.
You have text messages dropping the racial slurs, but you bring Trump's past up too.
Yeah, we could talk about how I used to say the N-word when I was 14 after you paid me $5,000 because we made a bet. You said
You lost. Garcia has been arrested before.
What did we bet on? You know what? Okay, listen. We bet on if he had been charged with a crime, but you're now rephrasing it to being arrested. But he hasn't even. He wasn't arrested. Give me his arrest record.
The charges were dropped.
Which
You're
okay,
missing
I'm not going to re-explain how in order to have charges dropped, that means that you have to be charged in the first place. I just want you to give me his arrest record. Like, give me his arrest record. He doesn't have one. And when you don't come up with one, you will give me $5,000. Sweet. Sweet. I'm about to be $5,000 richer, everybody. Catherine, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal saying, keep up the good work. Your patience and persistence is incredible. Thank you for the love, Catherine. Let's get 200 Catherine W's. That is Catherine with a C, Catherine. Thank you so much. As well as Whitney, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo saying, keep beasting on assholes. Oh, I'll never stop, Whitney. That is so incredibly kind of you. Everybody show some love to Whitney Blair down below. Thank you so much, Whitney. I appreciate you guys for the love. Tiger, thank you for the 5, and David, thank you for the 5. Yo, let's go, dude. This guy owes me $5K because he was never charged with a crime. Sky, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo saying, Dean, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Sky. I really appreciate that. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much, Sky. Guys, this guy owes me $5K. I'm going to be so sad if he doesn't pay up like he said he would. You better pay up. Hannah, thank you for the $5 or $10 over on Venmo saying bro does not have 5K. I guess we might figure out when he comes back and admits that he's wrong. Hannah, thank you for the 5, but thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. What's up, Christians? Oh yeah, he left. Oh my God. Okay, well now some random Trump supporter is in debt $5,000 to me. Oh God, whatever happened to there being people of their word? Whatever happened to honesty? Okay? Whatever happened to making a deal and then respecting that deal? You know? Whatever happened to those good virtues? Okay? You ran away. You owe me $5,000. I am now out $5,000 that should be in my bank account right now because you ran away. Okay? I find that incredibly rude of you. Find that incredibly rude of you. Hello, Liam. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Some things yes, some things no, but overall more so than the Democratic Party.
Okay, before we hop into a debate, I have a handful of people to thank. Nina, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo, over on YouTube Super Chat, saying immigrants commit less crime than U.S.-born citizens. Yep, PNAS. They are 2 times less likely to commit violent crimes. It is absolutely a fact, Nina. Then A, thank you for the $3 on Venmo, and Ryan with a 1. And then Lucy, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal, saying respect your patience with the rocks, bro. Thank you for the love, Lucy. Let's get 200 Lucy W's. Thank you for the $20. That's incredibly kind of you. Shout out, Lucy, for real, for real. Take it away, Liam. Tell us why you support Trump.
A number of reasons, really. I really wanted to comment on one thing, and that was the last debate you had with that guy about Abrego Garcia. Do you mind bringing up that SCOTUS document again that you were showing?
Yeah, for sure.
That would be great. The last sentence of the main paragraph they're showing, can you read that last sentence?
Yeah, that he lived safely in the United States with his family for a decade.
No,
and has never been
the whole
charged with a
sentence,
crime.
if you don't mind.
Amanda Garcia responds that he is not a member of MS-13, that he's lived safely in the United States with his family for a decade and has never been charged with a crime.
Okay, and then the first 3 words of that again.
Amanda Garcia responds.
Abrego.
Abrego Garcia responds.
Yes. Okay, so he's saying that he's not a member of MS-13 and he's lived safely and not committed a crime in the United States. He's saying that.
Yeah, he said that he's never been charged with a crime. That's right.
Yeah, he's saying that.
Yeah, he was saying that because he hasn't been charged with a crime.
Yeah, criminals say they haven't been charged with crimes.
Okay, could you show me like the arrest documents or like the criminal justice documents relating to him being charged? That's all public record.
Yeah, I absolutely can. I'll be absolutely happy to do that.
Do it. Show me where he's
Yeah,
been
do you have an
charged
email I
with
can
a
send them to? Because I can't do it on my phone here.
You can't put it on your green screen. You can't look it up.
No, unfortunately, honest to God, I'm not that capable of doing that right now. But I can email it to you. I can show it to you. There's a whole file
quickly,
of records.
How quickly can you email it to me?
Probably in the next 10 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to your word. Right now,
Well, there's no way to do that, but you'll just have to accept that I'm an honest
now,
person.
my time, it is 5:48 p.m.
6:48 where I'm at.
If I don't see an email by 5:58, I'm gonna call you out. Okay.
Well, you can call me out all you want. That's fine.
Hello.
I'm just saying that you have to accept that I'm an honest person. That's all I'm saying.
My email is hello@deanwithers.com.
hello@deanwithers.com. WITHERS.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll do that. And I'm not asking for.
Great, sounds good. Go send that email, buddy. Go send that email. I'll wait. I'll wait for that email. Let's go and get that next guest up here on the stream right now. Go ahead and drop a maggot down below in that comment section if you would like to come up and have a conversation with me, guys. Let's go to get that next guest up in the box right now. Can't wait for this email. Can't wait for this email. It's going to be the best email I've ever received. The best email ever. Did bro just kick him out? Yeah, I kicked him so he could go fucking send me an email. All right. Too many distractions up here. What's up, Quinn? Do you support Trump? Quinn is not here, quite frankly. Goodbye, Quinn. Goodbye. Have a good one. Have a good one. Moving on to the next guest. What's up, Dominic? Do you support Trump?
Hey, what's up?
Hi. Do you support Trump?
Yep.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
Sweet. What year are you born in?
2002.
Okay, you're terrible at math, quite frankly. Oh, and he says the N-word. Oh, wow. So unexpected. Little white boy saying the N-word, bruh. Fucking hell. I'm sorry that you guys had to hear that. The script, man. The script. Moving on to the next guest, you guys, if you're in that queue, make sure that means you support Trump. We're going to go to get that next guest up in the box right now. We got Jaden loading in. And Alicia, thank you so much for the $50 over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much for the love, Alicia. That is so incredibly kind. Thank you so much, Alicia. Alicia says here to support honest media. So much for the love, Alicia. That is so incredibly kind. Thank you so much, Alicia. Alicia says here to support. What an echo. Holy shit. I really appreciate you so much for the love, Alicia. Thank you. I seriously, I mean that. Thank you so much for the love, Alicia. Let's get 500 Alicia W's for the $50 super chat. That is incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. And if you are one of the 7.4 thousand people in the live and you'd like to come up and have a conversation with me, let me know down below. We're going to be inviting people up that are spamming MAGA in that chat. Right now, we're just looking for the next guest. I've determined that it is very difficult for me to find anybody that is willing to come up and debate me. Hi, Jelly. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Nice. What year are you born in?
2006.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Are you from America?
I am, but I don't live in America anymore. But I am only here for studying reasons. Like, I am from America, though.
You are from America. What state are you from?
I'm from New York,
What's the capital?
the capital of New York.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why don't you know the capital of the state that you're from?
Because I'm not smart. I've got autism. I'm autistic.
Okay. Well, having autism doesn't mean that you're not smart. And that makes me think that you're just trolling for no reason whatsoever. We are going to move on to the next guest right now. What's going on? How old are you? Okay, they're gone. Wow, man. Honestly, I feel so lonely. Let me tell you while we're getting this next guest up, I feel lonely. There's no Trump supporters that are willing to come up and talk to me, man. I'm lonely. Why do you guys hate me so much? Lewis, are you MAGA? Lewis, baby, please come out and play.
No, it's Louis.
Louis. Okay, Louis. Okay, Lewis. Louis. Are you from
Louis.
America?
Yep.
Really? What time is it?
6:30. Or no, 10-7.
10 to 7. Sorry, just the way that you said that was so fucking incredibly British. We're going to kick you and move on to Rizzy. We got Rizzy loading up in. Where are the Trump supporters at? I'm going to lose my mind. Give me, oh, hello, give me an M, give me an A, give me a G, give me an A. Are you MAGA? Oh my God! Where are the Trump supporters at? Oh my goodness gracious. This is outrageous. Hi, Final Patriot. Are you MAGA?
Yeah, I'm MAGA. I'm ultra MAGA.
I'm going to cook you up real quick. So you're a patriot, you say. Let me ask you. Do patriots support core American values like the Constitution?
No.
What's a patriot?
We fight for our right to live and exist.
I have a feeling that this guy isn't trolling and he's just like super insane. Why do you support Trump?
Why do I support Trump? Oh, I think it'll bring it closer to a civil war. That's why I support Trump. I like his ideology.
Okay. You want war, death and demise. I bet that you are wildly unpopular in your day-to-day life. You like
Well,
people.
I'm 28. I don't really care about popularity.
People walk by you on the street and they say, "Oh, like this guy, I'm scared of him. I'm scared
And
of this guy."
here you are debating.
I'm scared of you too. I'm scared of you just like everybody else. Mr. Edgelord over here. Hello, JC. Do you support Trump?
Well, no, but I do have some information for you. Factcheck.org shows that Garcia was arrested in 2019 in a Home Depot trying to pick up work. And
Sure. What crime was he charged with?
Just factcheck.org. I posted the link in the comments.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you so much, JC. That is kind of you, keeping the media honest. But I already knew that he was arrested at a Home Depot. But the reason that he was let go was because they couldn't find a crime to charge him with. And by the way, that makes the arrest illegal because if they couldn't find a crime to charge him with, they obviously didn't have reasonable and articulable suspicion of a crime to make the arrest in the first place. So it was an illegal arrest as there was no crime that they could be found to charge him with. What's up, Villain? Do you support Trump?
No.
Okay, bro. Guys, if you're in the queue, just make sure that you support Trump. But once again, JC, I do appreciate that. Keeping the media honest. I think that's something that we should all do. I'm glad that I could explain my perspective. Let's go and get that next guest up here. And in the meantime, we got to thank Chris for the $50 super chat over on YouTube. Thank you for the love, Chris. That is incredibly kind of you. 500 Chris W's down below. Chris has seen MAGA serve some critical thinking is cathartic. Thank you. I appreciate you for the love, Chris. I'd also like to point out for the people on YouTube, if you want to support me, I'd highly implore you to first support me on Venmo and PayPal compared to Super Chat, just because I think YouTube takes like 30 to 60% of the Super Chats, but nobody takes anything outside of the tax man from what's on Venmo and PayPal. But I really do appreciate you guys. What's up, Mark? Do you support Trump? Okay, he's literally playing video games. Okay, bro, have we won? Have we seriously just won? Is there just no Trump supporters left? I think that there's no Trump supporters left for everybody watching. We are literally out of Trump supporters. R1, are you MAGA? No, we're out of Trump supporters. Look at that, everybody. Look at that. We're out of Trump supporters. We are out of Trump supporters. There's no more Trump supporters. We have won. They have lost. There's no more Trump supporters at all. I mean, is this what it feels like to win? What's up, Honey Crisp? Are you MAGA?
Yes, I am.
Age?
I'm 24.
What year are you born in?
2000.
Okay, you know what? Actually, I trust you. Why the hell do you support such a train wreck of a presidency?
I have a question for you. In order to debate people, you have to be open-minded and less condescending.
Okay.
And
Open-minded.
I have not seen that. I've been watching your live for a long time, and
How about
just
this?
not seeing that from you.
I'll be very open-minded and not condescending to you.
You're gross.
Okay, so you're not here to debate. Boo! 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 Oh my god. Holy fuck. Oh my god. I can't win. I can't win. Oh, I'm closed-minded and condescending. And I'm like, okay, I'll be very open-minded and not condescending at all. And they're like, oh, well, you're still... Boo! Boo! Why are the Trump supporters just not willing? Megan with $1 on Venmo says, you've done it. You've gotten rid of them all. Yes, we've single-handedly saved America. There's no Trump supporters left. Quite frankly, that's the truth. Look at this. R5, are you a Trump supporter?
I don't know, man. I just want to say no, but I
Get out of here. By the way, everybody spamming email in the chat. We have not received an email. He was not a person of their word. Not at all. Hello, Zorro. Do you support Trump? Or are you just going to be like the last billion
No,
bots?
I hate Trump, actually. Fuck Trump.
Right. Guys, stop fucking joining. Holy shit. I'm losing my mind. Abby, are you MAGA?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
That was a lie, right?
No, it wasn't. I was born in 2007.
Okay, what month?
February.
Okay, you would be 18. Okay, Abby,
Yeah, I would
why do
be.
you support Trump?
Because he supports abortions, and I do too.
So,
Because I don't believe if
do you mean doesn't
like if you're not
support
prepared
abortion?
to have sex, if you're not prepared to have sex, I don't know why. Like,
Okay, Abby, you said that he supports abortions, and so do you. Do you mean that he doesn't support them?
oh, he doesn't. Yes.
Bingo. Okay, tell me why you think abortion's wrong. Let's hear it, Abby. In fact, what I
Well,
want you to
because
do
if
is I
you're
want you
not
to lay
prepared
every
to have a
single
baby,
reason
I don't
on
know
us.
why you're having sex.
Okay, okay. So if you're not prepared to have a baby, don't know why you're having sex. Any other reasons?
Nope, just that.
Any other ones, really, Abby? Because I'm going to grill you if that's your only reason, but I'm letting you know.
Well,
in
I mean,
advance.
grill me then.
Okay, fine. You're not pro-life because you give a fuck about babies or fetuses or children. You're pro-life because you want to control other women.
No.
Yeah, your reason told us. You didn't mention the fetus
No,
once.
it's just
you just
because
mentioned the
why
women.
would
Are you laughing at yourself?
I'm sorry. Are you Christian?
I just tried to kick you and it didn't let me. What the fuck? Kick again.
What the?
There you go. Moving on to the next guest. Moving on, everybody. I just feel like they were a troll, or else they wouldn't have like laughed at the point that I made. Probability was just simply too high there. Probability of them being underage or a troll was too high. Past my risk threshold, which sucks because they're like the only person in like a billion years that was willing to come up here and tell us that they were like MAGA. Where like, dude, okay, like the Trump supporters are so fucking loud and proud. Everywhere on the internet, you will find Trump supporters running their mouths. But the one place you will not find Trump supporters is in this goddamn live stream. I swear to God. Andrew, what's up? Do you support Trump? See what I mean? See what I mean, everybody? First time you'll see Andrew, the patriot Trump supporter, being gagged and leaving. You know what? You see what I mean, everyone? Like, oh my lord. Oh my lord is quite frankly my response. Where are they at? Why are you guys being such chickens?
Bro, Dean, I like what you're doing. Keep it up.
I appreciate you, but you're a child. And you were spamming MAGA in the chat. Holy shit. Stop being so spineless. All you Trump supporters, stop being spineless. I'm telling you guys. Stop it. Owen, thank you for the $5 on PayPal saying, hate Trump, love America, keep up the good work. I appreciate you. That's very kind of you. Look at Owen. He's automatically leaving the live, even though he was just in the chat spamming MAGA. Stop being so absolutely spineless. Like, why can't we find a single person that's like, I support the president? Tito, you support the president? You support Trump? You big Trump guy? Are you MAGA? See what I mean? Get out of here, you bot. You don't even have anything to say. You spam MAGA in the chat, then I accept you on the live, and then you just go silent. Where are the Trump supporters? They're not here. They're nowhere around here. Hannah, do you support Trump?
I fucking love you.
Stop.
What is it? Oh, hey, how's it going?
Hi, what time is it?
It's at 5:02 p.m.
5:02 p.m. in what state?
California.
What's the capital of California?
Sacramento.
You sounded Irish for a second. Anyways.
What? I am not Irish.
So you support Trump?
Yes, I voted for Trump, actually.
Oh my God, the first time I'm talking to a Trump supporter with a smile on my face. Okay.
Amazing. Yes.
Why do you support Trump?
Okay. I think you have made a community where you, what is that thing called? What is that word? Where you're like, have a lot of people with you that just repeat the same thing. What is that thing called? Echo, what is it called? Echo.
It's definitely not an echo chamber.
Echo chamber. That's the word I was looking for. Yes.
It's not. Echo chamber is
Because-
not the
okay,
word
okay,
you're
okay.
looking for.
I'll tell you why. I don't follow social media. I don't follow anything like that. So I'm the average American. Can we agree with that? Average American does not watch you, does not watch Hasanabi, does not watch all these content creators. Can we agree on that?
Okay, I'm gonna butt in here. This is like the least likely political live stream.
No.
Let me finish.
Okay.
This
Yeah, you're
is the least likely political live stream on the goddamn internet to be an echo chamber, because this political live stream revolves around me talking to people that disagree with me. An
Okay, I'll
echo
tell you why.
chamber is an isolated chamber, quote unquote, where only common beliefs are held, perpetuated, and discussed. However, in this space, the opposite is true. Only adjacent, opposing beliefs are discussed. But I don't understand what this has to do with why you support Trump.
Because I wasn't involved in your community. Because now I see the light. I see it a little bit differently, especially with all the
So do
crazy
you still
stuff
support
he's
Trump
doing.
today?
Right now, there's nothing we can do. The only thing we can do is just hope he can't achieve like what he did in the last time.
Matthew, my question is very clear. Do you support the president?
That's a very loaded question. Yes, you know what? Yes, I do. No, I'll tell you what. No,
It's not a loaded question at all.
yeah, no, it is because we can't do anything about it. He's the president. You know,
Me
we're not-
asking you if you're MAGA is not loaded.
a conservative MAGA.
Connor, how old are you?
I'm not saying how old I am.
Underage. Okay, so that guy just wanted to try to find a way to stay on the live, I guess. Like, I don't know what's going on. But hey, man, can we get some celebrations going in the live for the fact that we've just like eliminated Trump supporters? There's none left. What's going on, CVA? Do you support Trump?
I voted for him, but I do not agree with his agendas.
Great. I'm happy that you stopped supporting him. Moving on to the next guest, everyone. Oh my God. Okay, it's just a child saying the N-word. So Trump supporters are willing to come up here, say the N-word, moan, but they're not willing to tell us why, I guess. Are you MAGA?
Yeah.
How old are you?
28.
Okay, why do you support this train wreck of a presidency? Lay it on us.
I don't know. I just like the way he handles things and the way he, he says something, he stands on it.
Surely there must be a couple specific examples. Would you like to take it away?
Well, the way he deals with the Middle East, for sure.
What? No. The way he deals with the Middle East is completely contradictory. He says that we need to stop funding Ukraine because putting America first does not include giving free money to other countries. But
Yeah,
then
I
he
agree
turns
with
around
that.
and gives billions and billions and billions to Israel.
I agree with stopping funding Ukraine, so I mean, I'm cool with that.
But the contradictory notion that I'm providing is the fact that he then turns around and says, let's increase funding to Israel.
Okay, yeah, you got me there.
Okay, so what's next? Why do you support him?
I just think that, he's not in it for the money. And I'm not huge on politics. I'm
Not
not
in
going to
it
sit here
for
and act
money.
like I'm...
He rug pulled his supporters with a meme coin, and once the price started to go down and he started to lose billions, he then invited the top 220 holders to a private dinner at the White House. He sold
And
sneakers.
where's the evidence of this?
You could he was the one that hosted the dinner. He was the one that announced the dinner. That like all news reporters recorded the people going into the dinner because it happened last week. He's also the same guy that sold NFTs, sneakers, Bibles, guitars, watches, tequila. Of course, he's in it for the money and the power, man.
Well, I have to disagree. I don't think he is.
So then why would he
I mean,
sell
sure,
golden
everyone
sneakers and rug
likes
pull
to
his
make
supporters with a
money.
meme coin?
Everybody likes to make money, but I don't know if it was a rug pull necessarily. I can't. Are you saying like he did the same thing Hawk Tua girl did?
Very similar, yeah. And then also, even if he's not in it for the money, okay, well, that would make sense because he's a billionaire. More money doesn't do anything for him. He's in it for the power.
Wait, what?
He's in it for the power. That's why he's been ignoring SCOTUS. That's why he's called for the termination of the Constitution. That's why he tried to rig a presidential election when he lost in 2020.
Yeah, but if he's already a millionaire, almost billionaire, like
No, he
I don't think he
with a B.
needs the money like that. Like if you look at the other presidents before him and their net worth,
I want you to listen to what I just said. I agree with you. The predominant reason that he's president is not for money. The predominant reason that he is president is for power and control.
Yeah, and I mean, let's face it, Dean. Like any person that's running for the presidency is gonna be in it for the power. They want to be the number one person,
but not to the extent of being fascist. Not to the extent.
Yeah,
of
but you're
being
not going to
fascist.
find some humble person that wants to run and spend millions of dollars campaigning to be a president who doesn't want power. Like, who needs to
not
be
to the
president
extent
needs to
of
be
being
someone who wants
fascist.
power.
He wants so much power that he's willing to call for the termination of the Constitution to do so. He wants so much power that when he lost the 2020 election, he tried to steal it from Biden. He wants so much power that he's straight up ignoring the Supreme Court and trying to consolidate power to the federal branch of our government. And then, by the way, we've definitely had humble people run for the presidency. Bernie Sanders. But we don't need to go there because all that I need you to acknowledge is the fact that he is in it to the power to a terribly dangerous extent of being a fascist.
I don't agree with the fascist thing, but I do know that yes, he wants power. Yeah, he wants to. He
How do you
is the
feel
kind of
about him
person-
trying to steal an election or calling for the termination of the Constitution? Why do you lack the spine to respond to the specifics of what I am saying?
Look, dude, I'm not huge into politics, but you asked for a Trump supporter. I support Trump, and I'm telling you why. I mean, just because I don't fit your narrative of, like, I think he's the right guy to be in power. If we're being honest, he is the right guy to be.
Respond to anything that's coming out of my mouth?
If you're talking about the election, yeah, cool. He tried to steal it, but there was evidence that it was rigged.
No, there wasn't.
Yes, there was.
Even like GOP led and funded Senate investigations to find evidence of widespread voter fraud came up null. There's no evidence.
I haven't heard about that. What is that?
Even like GOP led Senate investigations to find widespread voter fraud in 2020 came up with nothing. There's no evidence.
There definitely was evidence.
So what is it?
They found like ballots that were casted for Biden that were being planted there.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
You're
they
referencing the
did.
claims made
Come
by
on.
you're referencing the claims made in the docu-mockery of 2,000 Mules, okay? All right. Did you know that the creator of 2,000 Mules went on record in a court and said they had no evidence for the shit they were saying?
Well, look, man, I think he's doing a great job.
No,
and
don't pivot. What's the evidence? Don't pivot. What's the evidence, sir?
You know what? I'll concede, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got me.
So
But
basically,
look,
you're
dude,
like, he launched
he's a
the
great
largest
guy.
internal. He's a great
doing
guy.
good job, and
Rapists are
he's
great
making you
guys.
a lot of money.
Rapists are great.
He's making
great.
you a lot of money, dude. You sit up here and you do have an echo chamber, by the way, because all your supporters are down there repeating the things you say. So yes, just because you bring one guest up that doesn't agree with you, you definitely have an echo chamber going on, bro.
The fact that I bring a guest up that doesn't agree with me definitionally rules out the possibility of this being an echo chamber.
But the guest doesn't follow you. The people who are listening to you follow you, and you have a community of people that run around chanting, "Yeah, Dean,
Under your
woo,
logic, therefore, any community is an echo chamber.
go Dean."
Therefore,
No,
with
that's
your
not
logic,
true.
anybody with a platform runs an echo chamber. Like also,
Well, when you're centered around being
also, why are you more focused on me than the topic of the live? Like honestly, I don't care about your shitty little jealous critiques of my community. Like I'd prefer if you didn't just diss random people just because they're right and you're wrong. But I would really appreciate it if you respond to the fact that Donald Trump tried to steal the 2020 election. I'd appreciate it if you respond to the fact that you called Trump a good guy, and I responded by pointing out the fact that he's adjudicated rapist that perfed on half-naked teenagers at Miss Teen USA and admitted to it. In fact,
Oh my
boasted
god,
about
come
it.
on, bro. Come on, dude.
Come on, what does that response mean? Does that
That
response
means
imply
you're
that
throwing around random shit to rage bait people and make them hate him, bro. Like you're throwing random shit out here.
Conflict?
Yes.
I don't see it as a conflict.
It could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed? No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell
Well,
me
I'll
what-
tell you the funny is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are
You can't even
anywhere.
pick up on sarcasm, bro. You're
The
come
owner
on.
of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it.
I just want to put this out here. I would totally be fine with you not existing behind an anonymous profile on the internet. I think that there's a lot of people that, quite frankly, deserve to have like their name known. You're one of those people. We're gonna go to move on to the next guest. Yeah. Laugh at Trump like talking about how he walks into the changing rooms of half-naked teenagers and then call me the R word. Got it, dude. Got
Yo,
it.
Dean, what up?
You're like that guy. That guy's just such a productive member of society. Like
Dean,
such
can you hear
a.
me?
I can. Give me a minute. Like such a productive member of society right there, you guys. In fact, the most outstanding productive member of society I've ever met. Hello, Alyssa. Do you support Trump?
I don't, but my fiance does, and he's the one gonna debate you.
What up,
Ooh.
Dean? How you doing, dog?
Oh man. Oh geez. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna try to change your mind. Fighter for the people with this one. Fighter for the fiance, more specifically. Tell me, why do you support Trump?
I hate Trump.
So, Mr.
Yeah.
Fiance, why do you like him?
Why do I like Trump? He's a macho dude, and I'm a macho guy, so you know.
Okay, why are you marrying this? I'm talking to her, by the way.
Good question. We try not to talk about politics because of this reason. He gets like really into it.
So his reason is
And-
he's a macho
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. No,
And-
like
and
he has
he's
no
a
good
macho
reason,
guy
really.
too.
Yeah.
So what do you mean by
He
he's a-
like ignores the fact that like Trump is like a rapist and stuff like that.
I think they're trolling. I'm sorry. I think they're trolling. It's been an hour without a debate. Holy shit. Ethan, thank you so much for the $30 over on Venmo, man. Ethan says, thank you for trying to educate the Pebbles, being authentic, respectful, and intelligent. My wife and I have been watching you for a while and just want to let you know that we appreciate you. Thank you for the love, Ethan. Let's get 300 Ethan W's. As well as huge shout out to, let's see, Niall with the $5 over at Venmo. I really appreciate that. Owen with a 5, Samantha with a 5, Christina with a 5, Lura with a 5, and then Nikki. Thank you so much for the 25. That's incredibly kind of you, Nikki. And Patrick with a 20 as well. Show some love to Patrick and Nikki down below in that queue, guys. Thank you both so very much. Huge shout out to Patrick and Nikki. While we get that next Trump supporter up here, y'all. While we get that next Trump supporter up here, everybody. Keep in mind, if you're spamming MAGA in that chat, make sure you're at least 18 and from America. What's up, Luke? How old are you?
I'm 18, 07, February.
Nice. And you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, why do you believe in something so irresponsible?
Israel.
So you only support him because he supports Israel?
Well, my boyfriend's Jewish, and we just absolutely hate what's happening in Israel and how people are trying to like.
Okay,
It's gotten very anti-Semitic.
Yeah, that's what Zionists call everything that's anti-Israel, anti-Semitic. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that the term Zionist and Jewish individual are interchangeable? Do you think that all Jewish people are Zionists?
Define Zionist, because I don't even know what that means.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, at least I was big enough to admit it.
No, you're right. You're right. That's totally fine. The way I understand the term Zionist is basically somebody that thinks that Jewish individuals have the right to their own state, and Zionism was built on the back of colonialization and stealing land from others. Right? And that's admitted by the founders of Zionism. But that aside, I don't think that supporting Trump because he supports Israel is that good of an idea.
Okay, but that's one of the main reasons I support Trump.
So you're more pro-Israel than you are pro-America because you understand that he's killing America, like with like redistributing wealth from the poor to the rich, the BBB, the Big Beautiful Bill, that's going to cut the after-tax income for 80% of Americans. So you're like, you want to support Israel but hurt Americans? Why?
Because listen, if you want to talk about Israel and Palestine and why I think it's better that America supports Israel, then we can do that. If not, then I'll leave.
Well, no, we'll get into that. We will, but I just first want to understand your perspective. Like assume that Israel wasn't doing ethnic cleansing. It still doesn't make much sense to say that I'm going to support the larger Zionists over the smaller Zionists, even though the larger Zionist is going to destroy America and the smaller Zionist is going to really help America. Like you support Israel more than you support America. Why?
I mean, doesn't the Big Beautiful Bill have no tax on tip and no tax on overtime?
However, the inclusion of the totality of the BBB reduces the after-tax income for 80% of Americans. That's according to the Center on Budget and Policy Provisions. Also, not to mention that Donald Trump has launched an attack on women's rights domestically. He's distanced us from all of our allies. He's stagnated investment into American manufacturing. He was guiding America down a path to a recession before he revoked his tariffs. The first financial quarter of this year, we had negative GDP growth, and all of this because he was slightly more pro-Israel than Kamala Harris. Really? Why?
I just find Trump is more pro-Israel than basically anybody on the left right now.
Do you understand the question that I'm asking you?
You're talking, bro. I came up to talk about Israel and Palestine and why I think the U.S.
But I want you to answer my question because you're saying this was the main reason why you voted for Trump. If you're not going to answer my question, I'm just going to kick you.
Okay, state the question again then.
I've already stated it 3 times. I don't like repeating myself 4 times, but I will nonetheless. So he's actively destroying America. Okay. So why do you support Israel more than you support America?
Because I wouldn't be surprised if there were the death for Jews really soon. People were calling for the death to Jews very soon. It would not surprise me.
Explain to me what that means.
People calling basically another Holocaust. Would not surprise me.
So you think that Donald Trump is going to prevent another Holocaust? How so?
Absolutely, he would do that. He's the most peaceful president that the States has ever had.
So you think because he's peaceful, he's going to prevent another Holocaust?
He's currently in negotiations with China.
What about something like similar to genocide? What about ethnic cleansing? Do you think that he'd prevent the ethnic cleansing of millions?
Yeah, I know where you're going to go with this, and this is war we're talking about.
Can you answer my question?
I think he would attempt to.
So then why is he specifically advocating for the ethnic cleansing of the 1.2 million Palestinians living on the Gaza Strip?
Didn't he want to occupy the land to try and turn it into some sort of, I guess you could say, resort?
Bingo. Yes, exactly. That is the ethnic cleansing of all the Palestinians living there, since he wants to forcefully relocate them to Egypt and Jordan, give them no right to return, flatten the land, build a Riviera, and give it to Netanyahu. This fulfills every necessary criteria of ethnic cleansing. So you told me that he would do everything in his power to prevent ethnic cleansing, as he's the most pro-peace president we've ever had. Then why is he explicitly advocating for it?
Well, one, you can't. I don't take everything he says seriously, including that. But two,
so he just jokingly advocated for ethnic cleansing. Is that your position?
I never said he jokingly advocaate. I just said
it's either serious or a joke. There's nothing.
I didn't take that Palestinian video seriously when I first saw it. To be completely honest,
so you're just saying that it's not serious. It's just a joke. So he jokingly advocated for ethnic cleansing.
If you want to put it like that, sure.
You're outrageous. So,
hey, listen. At least you got a debate. At least you got a debate within the last 30 minutes.
You're so fucking outrageous. So, no, he's not joking. He spoke about it at a press conference with Netanyahu. Was that whole press conference like satire as well? Because he laid out the plan. Yeah, I bet you didn't. He laid out the plan at a press conference by the side of Netanyahu. Was that all a joke or was that serious?
Again, I didn't even know there was a press conference.
Okay, so now that you do know that, now that you know it's serious, so now your position is that Donald Trump is seriously advocating for ethnic cleansing.
If he was advocating for it, then why wouldn't he be trying to blow Palestine off the world right now?
Because he just wants to push the Palestinian people off to give their land to Israel. Not to mention Israel's already done the blowing.
Already? Or am I just confused on that one?
I don't even know what you just said.
Is Palestine not already a state of Israel? I'm pretty sure I heard somewhere that it was a state of Israel.
You've probably heard a lot of Zionists say that it's not their land. I don't understand what this has to do with what I said. Like, I'm just seriously, we're isolating.
Well, because
for
you
his
said
plan to ethnically. How do you feel about his plan to ethnically cleanse 1.2 million Palestinians living on the Gaza Strip?
Well, I don't think anybody should be killed. I mean, okay, that's a bit of a lie, but I don't think innocent people should be killed.
So you think that's like really bad, right?
Yes, but what has he done?
Do you hold a red line against ethnic cleansing?
What has he directly done to do ethnic cleansing to Israel or to Palestine? My bad.
Right, he announced a plan to forcefully relocate them to Jordan and Egypt.
Relocate them, but that doesn't ethnically cleanse them.
Yeah, it does. Why don't you go on pause, go to Google, type an ethnic cleansing definition, come back with ukulele in 3 tiers, and apologize.
Okay, you just give me the definition because
the forceful expulsion or removal of an unwanted ethnic or religious group from society.
So forceful removal sounds like that's what I interpret that as.
So forceful removal can be death or forceful removal. Yeah. See how that makes sense? See how forceful removal can be forceful removal?
But he's not killing them. You're saying when you say ethnic cleansing, that sounds like
well, like yes, they are killing them. 54,000 of them, to be precise.
That's war.
Ethnic cleansing does not necessitate the killing of individuals.
Well, people are dying because that's war. It's bad.
So, so you're saying that so ethnic cleansing is just war? Forcefully removing and relocating 1.2 million Palestinians to build a resort is war?
No, I'm saying the people who died.
So we will get on to your claim that the ethnic cleansing is just war, because I disagree with that. But before we do, I want you to respond to his plan to ethnically cleanse 1.2 million Palestinians off the Gaza Strip.
Well, if he's relocating them, then how is he cleansing them? How is he actually doing anything to fully harm them?
Because that's the definition of ethnic cleansing, you silly fucking goose. How dense are you? Go to Oxford Language. The forceful expulsion of an unwanted ethnic group from society is the definition of ethnic cleansing in the Oxford Language Dictionary. Okay? Forcefully expelling them is forcefully expelling them. There's like, this isn't even an example of Dean connecting the dots. I'm not connecting dots between one thing and another thing because it's not two separate things. It's the same thing. He's definitionally forcefully expelling them by forcefully expelling them. Are you picking up what I'm putting down, Mr. Zio?
Okay, but then has Trump actually done anything to relocate anybody?
I don't know if the plan's gone into operation yet. Maybe somebody else in the chat does, but I don't think that's relevant either.
But it is, because if he hasn't done anything to relocate anybody, then how can you say he's ethnically cleansing anybody?
So you said he wants to, he intends to, he is going to.
Let's assume that you're right.
For instance, if like Trump ran for the presidency and he was like once I'm president, I'm going to use my power to like rape 1 million children, would you still support him since he hasn't raped them yet?
No.
Now you get it.
Okay, but let's assume that you're right and he does plan to ethnically cleanse by your definition. What has he done to actually ethnically cleanse anybody?
I literally just made this point clear to you. Then also, for like the people saying that my analogy was too far, so ethnic cleansing isn't.
But how is he ethnically cleansing anybody then?
Okay, can you rehash the last 45 seconds of debate?
You said he plans to, and I said, well, if he...
Right, and he's aiding and abetting in the current ethnic cleansing by funding the state of Israel. But I'm very specifically talking about his plan to personally ethnically cleanse all remaining Palestinians on the Gaza Strip. So I think the fact that he's announced that plan in of itself is more than enough. He doesn't actually need to start doing it in order for any reasonable mind to care, under my view. And I demonstrated this logic to you by asking if you'd still support him if he announced that he wants to rape 1 million kids but hasn't started raping them yet. And you said that you would stop supporting him, right? See how like any reasonable mind would hear him call for the ethnic cleansing of 1.2 million people, and that alone is enough? Any reasonable mind would listen to him say that this is exactly how he's going to do it with a fully laid out plan detailing every specific A through Z, and that's enough?
Well, who said he wasn't trying to relocate anybody to try to just move them temporarily until Palestine is rebuilt?
Him, yeah. He said in an interview with Fox News that he does not intend on giving them any right to return. But even if he didn't say that, and they would have the right to return in the future, that still would constitute ethnic cleansing, as ethnic cleansing does not imply any temporal permanence.
So even if it's temporary, that's still under definition ethnic cleansing.
Yes. However, his plan is not temporary, and he affirmed that explicitly.
Well, I highly doubt. I listen, I promise you, he is not ethnically cleansing anybody.
Yeah, sure. Tell me what criteria of ethnic cleansing according to the Oxford Language Dictionary definition, or the definition that you uphold, that he doesn't fulfill.
What has he done? Like seriously, what has he done? He said he follows through really well on everything he does, and
I literally just said like he intends to ethnically cleanse. Sir Luke, how many times have we been over this?
He intends to, but
I mean, he's currently funding the state of Israel, but I'm specifically talking about his announced plan. How many times have we been over this, dense little boy?
Okay, fine.
Answer this question. Why is his announced plan with all specifics A through Z to ethnically cleanse the 1.2 million Palestinians on the Gaza Strip not enough? By the way, this is the last time I'm asked the question. This is seriously the last time.
Are you just going to keep muting me?
Yeah, while you interrupt me. Now, please answer the question I just asked you. And that's the last time I'm going to ask it. I'm not going to ask it again.
Fuck this.
Yeah, you're going to leave because I beat you in a debate. I get it. I get butthurt too if I was you. We're going to go to move on to the next guest, everybody. Do be patient while we get the next guest up in the live. We have Jack loading in. No ears, no brains. You know, what a terrible combination. I feel bad for him. I truly do. Hello, Jack. Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
18.
18. How old are you? Oh, sorry. What year were you born in?
2006.
2006. Yeah, you could be 18, born in 06, but what time is it?
For me, 1:30 a.m.
Okay. I'm only talking to individuals from America. I do appreciate you for joining up. Let's go and get that next guest, Caden, in the live. What's up, Caden? How old are you?
Hi, I'm 19.
19. What year were you born in?
2006.
What time is it?
5 o'clock.
Yeah, what state?
I'm in Phoenix.
Really? That's a
I know
city.
that's not the state. I know Arizona is the state, but I'm in Phoenix.
Okay, what's one state that borders Arizona?
Oh, I don't know. That's not the problem. I'm a Trump supporter. I've
Just be
recently
honest.
moved. No, I promise you, I've recently moved here. I used to be from Ireland, and I've recently moved to the United States to
Okay,
pursue my acting career.
that's possible. That's possible. So did you vote in the election?
No, that is true. I didn't vote in the election, but I have kept up with it. And in the next election, Trump is running for president. I will be voting for him. So I am here
Okay.
to debate
Well,
it.
how's the weather in Phoenix right now?
It's not that nice. It's all right.
So be more specific.
What's average weather? It's not.
So which is?
It's just average. It's not like when you go outside, it's not blistering hot.
Okay, it's 100 degrees outside in Phoenix right now. It is blistering hot.
It's really not. I promise you, it is not. When I was outside earlier today, it was not blistering hot. Like literally, it's not. But when you're outside, it is not blistering hot. Like I'm not sitting outside getting like.
I think it's likely that they're lying. I'm sorry. Like if you, though I'm sorry. Like, hey man, if you actually did just happen to recently move, like I'm sorry, but like I just think that you were like lying. What's up, Asti? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, what up?
What's going on? So why do you support Trump?
Because he's a fuck your mom.
Okay. Well, I apologize for his use of the slur. I mean, his use of the slur was like incredibly incoherent. I like not only was that like, I think that just kind of left some like question marks over my head. We're gonna move on to the next guest. Everyone, just kind of give us a minute. Be patient while we get that next guest up in here, you guys. We're gonna get that next guest up in the live right now, y'all. What's going on, Dean's little brother? How old are you?
Dean, what's your favorite video game?
Probably BO2. How old are you?
BO2, that's a good choice.
It's a great
I'm not
choice.
of age. I just wanted to ask.
Okay, moving on to the next guest, Quinn Miller. Megan, thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal. Saying I'm an Ashkenazi Jew and extremely insulted by being equated with Zionist. Anti-Zionist is not the same as anti-Semitic. Yeah, 110%. I absolutely agree, and I can acknowledge and understand why you'd feel insulted. Samantha, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. Owen with the $5, and Brian with the $5 as well. If you're watching and you'd like to support me, support the stream, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio, as well as they're in the pin message in the YouTube stream. As well as Madi, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. I do really appreciate that, and I apologize for skipping you. Thank you so much for the love. I hope that you're still listening. As well as Niall with the $5 and Sam with the $5 as well. Hello, Quinn. Do you support Trump?
I had two things to tell you.
Okay.
Number one, I just think your rules here don't work. You're asking for people that are adults, they're Trump supporters, and they have the comprehension skills above that of a 7th grader. You got to get 2 out of 3 here.
Basher, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do support Trump. I was kind of shocked that you brought me up here.
You're up on the live. Take it away. Why do you support Trump?
Okay, so first thing, I wanted to kind of put some things out. First thing, please don't interrupt me. I'm going to give you your time as you will mine. Do you agree? Okay, cool. So I do support Trump for a simply fact of, so the stuff that he's going into is the trade war currently right now. Can we agree?
I mean, he's kind of like on the tail end of that now, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So reason why he started that tariff war, and correct me if I'm wrong, I do all my research, all my own research. I'm very open-minded, so let me know. So reason why he did that was to put Americans first, to try to put more money in Americans' pockets by creating a free trade agreement. Am I correct?
Well, I mean, I'd say that we don't really know his intentions because he like offered contradictory intentions a lot. So when he was originally like running on the blanket tariffs, like during his whole campaign, like pre-November 5th, It was to re-centralize American manufacturing. In fact, like before he actually launched his first tariffs on Canada, nobody was having a discussion about him using it as a tool to negotiate better trade agreements, and it was all to protect American manufacturing. So and for that reason, I don't think we really know his intention, but the best guess as what his intention would be was to implement these strict blanket tariffs to force more Americans to buy from American producers.
So there has been a couple of interviews that he has done publicly stating that he wants to get the free trade agreement going. So as we all know, way back when, it was like 20, 30 years ago, is when it all started, when Canada had put their tariffs on us, Mexico put tariffs on us, China, hence why we're trying to get in talks with China currently today. And we're trying to get those tariffs completely out of the way so it goes into an actual free trade agreement and helping Americans out. And I also, not only that, but I also support the side of where the federal income tax is being cut, along with the tax on tips being cut and overtime being cut. I support that as well because he's trying to put more money into Americans' pockets. Correct?
Okay, well, I'll respond to the tariff things first. So, do you think he did good with trade policy during his first administration?
The first administration, he was kind of learning how to be a politician because he really wasn't a politician.
So, did he
didn't
do
know
good or bad with his
about it.
trade policy during his first term?
I wouldn't say good, but I wouldn't
Because
say
he negotiated the USMCA, which was a trade deal with Mexico and Canada. I'd also like to point it out that Canada doesn't charge us tariffs. They have quotas, where if we export more to them above these quotas, then they start charging us tariffs. That rarely is enacted. And it is the case that they're like incredibly malleable and easy to work with to achieve better trade agreements, since we give them so much and they give us so much. So we didn't need to tariff the fuck out of them. And not to mention that like now he's like tariffing specific companies like Apple. He's saying if you don't start producing inside of America, we're going to tariff your phones 25%. Keeping in mind that if we were to start producing iPhones in America, that they'd cost like $4,000 or $5,000 per unit. And it's also worth pointing out that you're talking about his tax cuts, saying that it's going to be good for the average American. So actually, according for the Center on Budget and Policy Center, it is a case that it's going to increase the taxes or decrease the after-tax income for 80% of Americans. So I absolutely detest and disagree with what you're saying. Not to mention that if you wanted tax cuts for the average American, Kamala Harris should have been your pick because she ran on tax cuts for 100 million American workers only in the low and the middle class. She was the one that fought for the people. He's the one that fights for himself.
So I don't know too much about Kamala Harris. I'm just to be honest with you. I do know more about Biden's side of things, and I didn't really like a lot of the stuff that I've seen over in Biden's era.
No shot, man. What bad policy you passed?
Oh, shit. Man, you catch me on a cold day. Bad policy. I'm trying to think. Man, caught me on a... Man. That was a good one.
Yeah, he did really good with his domestic policy. His domestic policy was like top 10 presidencies ever, in my mind.
Yeah, so if you look at the stock market and all that, why did the stock market crash under his policies, though? Under his presidency?
What the heck? Why did you just get a violation for civic and electoral integrity? I'm sorry, man. I had to remove you, and I think that was a very like unfair moderation by TikTok. That was nuts. I don't think because you didn't even talk about the election. I have no clue why you got hit with that. TikTok. But yeah, like we saw like crashes in GDP growth in 2022 because of the pandemic, in which he actually prevented, like the majority of it. What's up, Chip? How old are you?
25.
Yeah. Do you support Trump, the worst president in your life?
Yeah, and I think I got a bulletproof position here.
Run. Yeah. Give me the bulletproof position. Let's hear it.
And I looked it up on Oxford Dictionary because you referenced that earlier. So is that a fair source?
Oxford Dictionary is like the first source that comes up on Google when attempting to define words. Like for the most part, I'm going to agree with Oxford. Yeah.
All right. So I got this from Parker's Live. I was actually watching Parker's Live the other day, and he ended up saying he is attracted to trans people.
I think more specifically, he said that like his attractions don't stop at cis people. And if you like disagree and say otherwise, like you're just lying.
Well, I'm not lying. I have the clip on my page of exactly what he said.
I know. I think I've seen the clip on your page.
Okay, can you let me finish then? Because here's my position, bro.
For sure. Like I really just want to like point. I just want to like really drill it home that if you're a cis dude and you say that your attractions only pertain to cis women and it is impossible for you to be attracted to any trans woman, you're just straight up lying. It's a lie.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, let me make my opening statement first. Let me make my opening statement.
I don't know.
Dude,
Now
I did
tell
the
me.
research.
Now tell me what the relevance is.
So, trans people, we recognize gender and sex as different things. So when Parker says he is attracted to trans woman, a trans woman
Once
is
again, I
biolog-
want to rephrase exactly
Hold
what
on,
he
can
said.
you let me finish?
No,
real quick,
because
and then you can rephrase, bro.
sorry.
The clip is on my page,
I
bro.
will unapologetically cut you off to make sure that you are representing what he said correctly. He said that his attractions don't stop at trans people.
So is that fair to say he's attracted to some trans women?
It's fair to say that therefore he could possibly be attracted to some trans women. Yes.
Okay, let's say in this hypothetical he is attracted to a trans woman. Gender is different than sex. This trans woman is sexually a male. The definition of homosexual is being attracted to the same sex. Would you concede that Parker is a homosexual if he's attracted to trans women?
No, because I do not believe that sexual orientations are predicated on the basis of sex. I believe that sexual orientations are predicated on the basis of gender, and I can prove it to you.
But isn't gender just subjective? We would really have no objection.
One second. I could prove to you. I could prove it to you.
Prove what to me? Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. That even you think that sexual orientations are going to be based on gender, not sex. Also, no clue why you're so obsessed with Parker. You like his biggest fan?
No, it just collapses your logic when you really break it down.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I'm about to demonstrate it to you. Give me one moment.
It's really not that complicated. All Parker has to say is...
Don't worry. You're right. It's not that complicated at all. You're about to get eaten the fuck up.
Okay.
Are you ready?
All you have to do is concede trans women are not real women. That's all you have to do,
trans women
Dean.
are women. Now, if you would just allow me
All you have to do, Dean. So are you attracted to trans women?
Don't worry. I'm cooking. Yeah,
Are you attracted to trans
It is
women?
so totally possible that there's a trans woman out there that I'd be attracted to, 110%. And honestly, if you're a cis dude and you say anything else, you're
So
fucking
therefore,
lying.
you would be a homosexual. That's just fact, bro. According to Oxford
Absolutely
English
not.
Dictionary,
Don't
which
worry.
is the source you
You're about to
provided.
get you're about to get cooked, buddy. You're about to get so fucking cooked. Oh my god.
But homosexual, we're
don't
talking
worry,
about the
don't worry.
definition of homosexual,
don't worry.
attracted to the same sex.
Don't
We're
worry.
not talking about gender.
Don't worry.
Dean, you're smart enough to acknowledge there are two sexes, right?
Don't worry, you're about to get cooked. Don't worry.
And the definition of
You're about to-
homosexual is
You're about to get
the
so
male
cooked.
sex being attracted
I honestly,
to the
I feel bad. I feel bad for how cooked this guy is right now.
Parker conceded on his own live he is a homosexual. I clipped it, bro.
I said I feel bad for him. I actually don't feel bad for him at all. Watch this. Sorry, I just had to get an image off of Google. Let me introduce you. Let me introduce you to a man by the name of Buck Angel. Okay? Let me ask you a question. If you wanted to give Buck Angel back shots, would you be straight or gay?
If I wanted to do it, like I do agree.
Would you be straight or gay?
That would be gay.
Really? Because this is a trans man. They're a biological female.
Yeah, but he's presenting as masculine.
And now your argument falls to bits and shreds, and I got a concession.
No,
in
it
less
doesn't.
than 2
It doesn't.
That is fucking hell. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Thank you so much for eating
It's
yourself
proved.
up. Thank you so much for eating yourself up. That was the lowest effort dunk I have ever gotten. That was the lowest effort clock I have. Wow. Thank you so much for the easiest dunk, the easiest clock I've ever received. Thank you so much. And you know what, Buck Angel, if you're out there, thank you. You're an icon, Mr. Buck Angel. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest. We got Bennett loading up into the stream right now, everybody. What's going on, Bennett? Do you support Trump? Okay, Bennett's not here. We're going to go to move on to the next guest, everyone. Kind of just give us a minute. Let's go and get Philip up in the live right now. All right, we got Philip loading in, y'all. Make sure if we are in that queue that therefore we do support Trump. What's going on, Philip? Do you support Trump?
We do support Trump.
Okay, Philip's not here either.
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. How old are you?
Yo, 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 yo.
Oh, I'm sorry. You got a little bit of a you got a little bit of an echo. So we are going to move on to the next guest. Let's get Eric up on that stream. Here we go, everybody. What's going on, Eric? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Phenomenal. What year were you born in?
06. I'm actually born on election day this year, November 5th.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Aubrey, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo, saying for that gnarly dunk. Yeah, that was nuts. Zoe, thank you for the $15 on Venmo, saying I'm a Zionist plus Jew. Though I agree with you on everything, your stance on anti-Semitism breaks my heart. Zoe, would it be like anti-Irish if I were to critique the Irish government? Would it be anti fucking French for me to critique the French government? Are you anti-Palestinian for critiquing Palestine's government? Then why am I anti-Semitic for critiquing Israel's government? But Eric, take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
So I actually kind of want to go off what Zoe said, not completely, but about Israel and Palestine. So recently,
if you want to have a conversation on Israel and Palestine that's more nuanced, I would suggest many other creators. I know the basics to hold a position, but if you want an in-depth conversation, I would highly implore you to go to other creators. Why do you support Trump?
Please, just let me. I have a point, and I want to ask you a question about it that I don't think you've heard before. So, the UK has recently talked about putting trade restrictions on Israel, and Canada has also said similar things about that, mostly because of the lack of humanitarian aid that is being let into Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
But what's happening with a lot of the humanitarian aid is Hamas is taking it and not distributing to the people who need it most, the people who are being.
Thank you so much for that. Then why can't I go on Twitter and watch a fucking live leak video of a humanitarian aid truck getting blown up by an Israeli bomb? Fuck it, please, seriously, tell me.
I couldn't give you an answer that I don't have insight on where Israel is putting these specific bombs, but even in the past,
I'm telling you, man,
before,
if you want a more in-depth conversation, please go to other creators. I'm just telling you, man. If you want an in-depth conversation, please go to other creators. I don't know if I'm the creator for you. If you want a very in-depth conversation about Israel and Palestine. And the reason I say that is because I will humbly admit that there's plenty of other people on this platform, on this app, that are significantly more educated than I am as it relates to Israel and Palestine. And I think it's really importantly for me to very humbly admit that, because it is such a precious issue that deserves the respect and as well as the nuance and the precision based on fact to prevent the dissemination of misinformation and propaganda to further dehumanize and justify the systemic ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. Now, if you want to talk about anything else, please feel free. Let me know why you support President Donald J. Trump and answer the question that is on top of my head.
All right, if Trump gives somehow ends the war with Ukraine and Russia, and Putin gets.
So you support Trump based upon a fairyland hypothetical? Is that what you're saying? Fairy tale hypothetical?
No. I want to know.
Okay, so then tell me why you support Trump, because I asked you why you support Trump, and then you started talking, and I thought that was your response to my question. So give my question a response. Why do you support Trump?
Okay, when Trump ends the war in Ukraine and Russia, and Putin gets the land that he wants, nice Benjamin, and Putin gets the land that he wants, how fast do you think it'll be until people are saying?
Hey, I don't know if you're just dumb or just intentionally subverting my question. My question is, why do you think that President Trump is doing a good job? Let's try one last time. Can you stop being just so dishonest?
I don't know what you're talking about. You're not letting me get my point there.
I want you to tell us why you support Trump. You're asking me a question about Russia and Ukraine that is not you telling us why you support Trump.
Okay, I think Trump has good foreign policy.
Like what?
Is that what?
What is Trump's good foreign policy?
His stance on Russia and Ukraine.
Okay, so you think that Ukraine should secede land to Russia, and we should weaken the victim and embolden the aggressor.
I think that a war with a weaker defender and a more aggressive and stronger attacker in a first world country where citizens are being forced out of their forced out of their homes where they shouldn't be is not the right move.
Okay, so you just told us that Donald Trump's foreign policy, as it relates to Russia and Ukraine, is not the right move, as he has defunded Ukraine, which is pulling support away from the victim, and he has emboldened Russia by perpetuating their propaganda and defunding Ukraine, which is giving more support to the aggressor. There you go.
What? That is absolutely not what I said.
Yeah, you just said that it is not the right move to weaken the victim and embolden the aggressor. Donald Trump is weakening the victim and emboldening the aggressor.
By ending a war?
No, by weakening Ukraine, stopping all humanitarian aid to them, and emboldening Russia by inviting state-funded Kremlin propaganda news sources into the Oval Office, and perpetuating and disseminating their propaganda, such as the myth that we have further funded, or that we have funded Ukraine too much.
I disagree with the myth. I think the funding to Ukraine was justified. It wasn't money.
Right. So then when we stop giving them money, weapons, and bombs in order to defend themselves, we weaken them, correct?
Well, yes, but not. It doesn't matter
because
it doesn't matter.
Them, that
it doesn't matter
Russia,
whether we're sending them stuff or not if the war is over.
Okay, is the war over?
No.
Then it matters.
Because Zelensky won't step into a room.
What? Zelensky's offered Putin 4 ceasefire agreements in the last 100 days. How many has Putin accepted?
None, because he's not offering him what he wants.
So Putin won't step into the room. You understand that even Donald Trump acknowledges that fact? Donald Trump acknowledges that Zelensky is not the one that won't step into the room. Donald Trump acknowledges that Putin is the one that won't step into the room. That's why Donald Trump was begging Putin to stop bombing Ukraine on Truth Social. Why are you just lying? You're literally lying to lie. Why?
I just disagree with you, man.
Wait, what the fuck? This is what I'm telling you is fact. How many ceasefire agreements has Zelensky offered Putin?
I don't know the exact number.
Like I said, 4. How many of those has Putin accepted?
None, because he hasn't.
So who's the one that's not willing to go to the table?
Well, I think Putin is just not listening to him.
Right, which means he's the one that's not willing to go to the table, right?
I guess so, but that doesn't.
Right. So then Donald Trump has weakened the victim and emboldened the aggressor.
But he wants.
Wow. Wow. First conscious thought this guy's ever had.
I just don't think you're listening to my point.
Buddy, I'm listening. I'm listening in excruciating detail, and I'm responding to everything that you've said. Your last point is that Zelensky's the one that's not willing to go to the table. I just got you to concede that you're wrong. Your earlier point is that we shouldn't be weakening the victim and emboldening the aggressor, and I detailed exactly how that is what Donald Trump is doing. I'm listening. I mean, you're giving me very low IQ points. They're very easy to respond to. Okay, is he leaving now? Oh, no, you're back.
I don't know why it might cut out. The thing is, what I'm trying to say, even if we still give them the weapons, but the war ends. The war not ends, but they at least get a ceasefire deal, which Trump is trying to do. How where does the weakening happen? If the war is over, what does it matter?
Right. You're saying if the war is over, why does it matter that we're no longer funding them weapons? It wouldn't matter. You're right. Duh. But the war is not over. That's kind of the whole point.
But
it's like imagine that Donald Trump took the winter jackets of every child in America, okay? And it's November. It's winter. Everybody's freezing. And then you were like, well, if it's no longer winter and it was summer, then why would it matter that he took away all of the children's winter jackets? Well, it's still winter.
So, do you think that Trump does not care about Ukraine?
Okay. No, you're not going to pivot. You're going to respond to my refutation of your last statement.
I don't even know what your point was saying. If he gives him coins and then takes it away because it's not.
So then I'm going to remove you because that point was like so very, very clear. And I have a limit to my patience. And, you know, I've been trying to do this thing recently where when a guest just goes past that limit, I don't explode and get angry. I just remove you and move on.
Me.
Hi, Ben. How old are you? The child. Moving on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute to get that next guest up in the box.
Yo, Dean, can you hear me?
What's going on, man? What time is it?
For me, it's. I mean, wait, let me admit. Can I join from the UK?
Unfortunately not. We are only looking to talk to people from America, but I do appreciate you for coming up. We're going to get on to that next guest, y'all. Make sure that you are from America and that you do support Trump if you do decide to hop in that queue. Tiger, thank you so much for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. Dean, have this pathetic guy address the fact that Putin accepted a ceasefire agreement from Trump, told Trump he wouldn't attack, then attacked Ukraine again. Yeah, well, I should have went over that. You're right. As well as Ava, thank you for the $10. Annie, thank you for the $10. I do really appreciate that. You guys are so very kind. If you'd like to support me, support the stream, keep the studio running for 4 hours a day, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in the bio. What's going on, Glitter Graham? Do you support Trump? Looks like Glitter Graham isn't here. Hey guys, for those of you that have been here for a while, have you guys like also been noticing that like every guest for like the last, I don't know, hour and a half has been like particularly annoying? Is that just me? Am I having a bad day? Is that just me? Or is that like, is everyone like picking up what I'm putting down? Like, I understand that like we have annoying guests because we talk to Trump supporters all day, but it is the case that like they've been particularly annoying. Danny with $1 on PayPal saying, fuck Buck Angel. Oh, is Buck Angel a piece of shit? If so, I apologize for calling them an icon. I guess I don't really know much about them. What's going on, Lay and ASA? Are you guys Trump supporters?
Hi, I am. It's Lee, by the way.
Okay, Lee, how old are you?
18.
What year were you born in?
2006.
What month?
July.
Checks out. What about USA?
Yeah, no, I'm 13.
How about? All right, Lee, take it away. Why would you ever be a Trump supporter? I mean, you must have some very compelling reason.
Okay, first of all, I just want to say, like, I'm just kind of, like, learning a lot as I go, you know? Like, I'm trying to get more educated and stuff. And I grew up in a very Christian household, but I've struggled a lot with my faith, so I've kind of, like, tried to find reasons for who I support outside of that, if that makes sense. Basically, I would say probably my biggest reason is abortion.
Okay, can I just ask you to be like super honest?
Yes.
Okay, are you lying about your age?
No.
Okay, so you're actually 18.
Yes.
Okay, have you ever worked a job?
Maybe.
Do you know? Okay, what's a W-2?
I have no idea. Okay, but please, wait, please.
Do you drive a
okay.
car?
Yes, I have. Yes,
Okay,
I
what
have
does a
my own car.
dotted yellow line next to a solid yellow line mean?
Bro, hold on. I barely passed my driver's test. Listen. No.
I'm sorry.
No, please.
I'm sorry, Lee. If you were being honest, if you were being honest, I apologize for kicking you, even though you're of age. I really do take like minor safety super seriously on the live, and I hope that you could understand that.
Cookie King mogs you.
Cookie King does not mock me. Cookie King does not mock me. Chad, I think that we're starting war with Cookie King. Okay, you know what? I've had it up to here with this Cookie King bullshit. I've had it up to here. All right, Cookie King, you know, I commented brain rot on one of your videos early today. And you know why I said that? It's because it is brain rot. Yeah. I guess, you know, the gym hurts too much. I think you're just a beta. Okay, and I want this message to reach Cookie King. Okay, Cookie King, I think you're a beta because you think that the gym hurts too much. quite frankly, you say you mog. No. You don't mog, Cookie King. Okay, all right. Not at all. Prime Cookie King is gone. Okay, that is a distant far off memory, a dream. He's gone. He's gone. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest. Everyone just go ahead and allow us a minute to get our next guest up at the box. What is up, Violet? Do you support Trump?
I'm Tyrone. I fuck your bitch.
Moving on to Tucker. Hi, Tucker. How old are you?
Hi, what up?
Hey, how old are you?
I got a question.
Yeah, for sure. How old are you, man?
What do you think about the tariff law or the tariff validation?
Tucker, how old are you?
I am 22, my guy.
Perfect. Take it away.
Yeah. So the tariff, right? The tariff tax on other countries.
The tariff tax
What do you
on other
think
countries.
Okay, what do you think about us doing that?
I think tariffs are bad.
But won't it eventually prop the U.S. economy because it'll bring a lot of the big factories over to the States?
No, especially with the direction that he's taken with his tariffs. So in order for tariffs to like further incentivize the domestic production of goods, they have to be permanent. They have to stay in place. Definitely for like the 3 to 5 years on average that it takes to build new facilities in America. But he backed off of them in like less than a month. So because they're so temporary and he's ultimately used them, like for instance, with China to achieve better trade agreements, they're not going to incentivize any companies that have operations outside of America to move inside America. And like Donald Trump is realizing this now. That's why he's like threatening a permanent 25% tariff on Apple specifically. It's because like Apple has no incentivization since he's dropped his tariffs and reduced the tariffs related that China has on us to like move their operations into America. So no.
Okay, I mean, yeah, it makes sense, but I guess a lot of people look at it's going to bring a lot of them big factories over here.
I mean, I don't think you have an argument to justify that. Like, what is the argument?
The argument is that the prices of food, groceries, tires, fuel, all of that is so expensive right now. When maybe 10 years ago, it was what? What was a gallon of gas 10 years ago?
Significantly lower than it is now, dude.
And the reason I say that is because everything's getting so much higher to ship and pay that shipping tax and that tariff tax that everything's being boosted up.
Right. So you're basically saying if they have to pay more to send their goods to America, why wouldn't they just move to America? Did Donald Trump pause his tariffs?
I don't know. I don't watch a lot of the news. I'm not very
Yeah, he paused his tariffs. He's repealed them. He's kind of stopped implementing them. These companies don't have any incentive to move to America.
Okay. Next subject. What do you think about the oil field wages?
I don't know. I don't know anything about oil field wages.
Well, when Trump was in office, we were a lot more busy. The price of oil stayed where it needed to be. It was like 78, and we were making money. Right now,
you were actually more busy under Biden on the macro level, just because we drilled more oil under Biden and Harris.
But we didn't do more completions. We might have drilled the well, but we didn't do more completions.
No, I'm talking about like barrels of oil. So yes, more completions.
Yeah. But the working guys that were getting that weren't making the money. It was all.
So you're saying that they made less money.
Yes, I'm talking from the working.
How did Biden and Harris make people working on oil rigs make less money?
The wages went down because of all the immigration that came across the border.
Immigration drove wages down? How?
They sure did. Because they'll come in and work cheaper.
Okay. So legal migrants actually have identical wages on average compared to citizens. Now, undocumented migrants have lower wages on average, right? They do, but not legal migrants.
I'm talking about illegal, not legal.
So we should fix that problem, right?
Yes, we should. And I think.
So why do you think undocumented immigrants have lower wages on average?
Because it's harder for them to get jobs?
Not necessarily. I mean, actually, yeah, but that's consequential of the larger reason, which is that they have less bargaining power than citizens because, well, they don't have a legal residency in America. It's easier for them to be exploited. So if we want to give them the same amount of bargaining power as a citizen, why don't we just offer them amnesty?
Well, I agree that some guys should get offered that,
Why shouldn't we just offer this to all undocumented migrants, excluding those that have committed prior violent offenses?
I think the ones that have committed I'm not very educated or have a very good dialect.
You're good, bro.
I don't think they should go through the process no matter what.
Okay, I think that you may just be a little bit too focused on the video game right now, and the reason why I say that is because what you just said
can
didn't
hear
make any
it.
sense.
No, I'm watching. I'm watching. I'm not even playing. I'm trying to think, but it's not coming out right.
No worries at all. Do you want to?
I'm a low IQ gentleman compared to people like you.
You automatically have a higher IQ because you're able to be self-aware and not just automatically think that you're right out of a place of ignorance. You are 10 times smarter than the average person that comes on this live.
I just want some clarity because I am a big Trump supporter. So
that makes you 10 times smarter than the average guest on my live.
And I wish I could put it in the right words or the right text where I could debate it, but I'm not a debater.
How about this? I appreciate you for coming up. Honestly, you were very well invited from me and probably a lot of the chat to hang out and watch the debates. I think that there's a lot you could take away, and I appreciate your open-mindedness.
Thank you.
Of course, man. We're going to move on to the next guest, everyone. We'll probably do one more debate before we end for the evening. Then I'll probably get off in the next, after the next discussion. And that'll probably be it. Oh, Zoe, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for that. Let's go and get that next guest up in the box, everybody. Let's go ahead and see what that next guest has to say. Has Parker been on today? That's actually a good question. I have not seen him on. Chat, has anybody seen Parker on, or is he just doing like a really late live tonight? Why short live? Well, I got to wake up pretty early in the morning. Yeah, by the way, for everybody in here, I'm going to be doing a really early live tomorrow. A really early live. Very early live. Okay. Yeah, what time? I'm going to be aiming for around 9:30 Mountain, so that's 8:30 a.m. Pacific or 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Ethan, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Where were you born in?
2006.
Okay, what month?
October 2nd.
All right, man. So do you support Trump?
Definitely.
Why?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
you don't know?
Okay, I can't. No, because like he's done like way more than the last sorry. I got a bad cough, bro. Hold on.
You know, you could have like changed your bio first.
Yeah, I don't really change my bio, I'm not gonna lie.
But you could have changed it before you came on live.
Well, that's my bad, bro.
Because it says 18. Sorry, it says 17.
Yeah, I don't really fuck with my bio like that.
How often do you think you fuck with your bio?
I don't know.
Because it's been like 9 months since your birthday.
I just don't change my bio.
Come on, really? That's the best you got?
I'm just saying. I don't change my bio like that.
Ethan, I appreciate you so much for coming up. I don't believe that you're of age, so I'm going to move on to the next guest. Janelle, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. That's incredibly kind of you, everybody. Shout out, Janelle. What's going on, Bam? Do you support Trump? Bam? Okay, Bam's not here. Somebody in the chat said, so 06 kids are 19 this year? Yeah, isn't that crazy? Isn't that nuts? What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay. So
2006. Yeah.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
I support Trump because I started supporting him back when he was fighting Hillary Clinton. But I support him because he's a businessman.
Okay.
Are
you trolling?
I know his daddy gave him his business, but I feel like.
Are you trolling?
Am I trolling?
Yeah, because I just went to your page. I just saw like your video. You got some like lip piercings. You look kind of like goth. You know, like pretty sick.
Yeah, I am.
Vibe. But like
I know.
Like goth MAGA, not something you see often.
No, not something you see often. I'm from Montana. So like I'm out in the country, so you don't see those often either.
Wow. Okay. So tell us why you support him. Take it away.
Well, why I support him is because he's definitely more of a businessman. He knows what he's doing with money, and he knows how to try and get it back. And like I was watching earlier, people talking about the tariffs, which is something I've been paying close attention to because I could change everybody's lives very quickly. But yes, Trump did drop his tariff. He just used them as like a scare method to try and bring prices lower or see if other places would work with him. For example, Canada and Mexico. Reason why he wanted to do those is so he can get more border control and more border support, so we stop getting immigrants inside of the U.S.
Well, that's not
so
true.
we can bring our. Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Why do you think that? Tell me why.
Because when he did bring those tariffs onto Canada and Mexico, both of them put around $2.5 million into border security on their side.
So that's not true. So yeah, when Donald Trump had originally imposed tariffs on Canada, this was like the first time. This was maybe 2 or 3 weeks after he won the presidency. He then dropped the tariffs, citing that they had passed a border bill, and that was what he needed. Turns out that border bill was passed through their parliament before November 5th. There's nothing new that had occurred via the first round of tariffs. And then he put a second round of tariffs on. No clue why he put the second round. I'm sorry, I'm getting a call from my girlfriend. She doesn't typically call me when I'm on stream, so it's probably important. Give me 30 seconds, y'all.
You're good.
Never mind, all's good. She's not even home. She didn't even know I was on live still. Okay, all right. Anyways, so to pick up where I left off, it is the case that we didn't get any new border policy from Canada after Donald Trump lifted the first round of tariffs, and then the second round of tariffs that he imposed on them were lifted with like no new concessions from Canada, and then he even imposed a third round of tariffs on them on Liberation Day. We didn't get anything from them either. And we still don't have anything from them. So what's going on? It just kind of sounds like incoherent gibberish.
As they are both dropped on Canada and Mexico, their tariffs are dropped.
But you understand that he reimposed tariffs on Canada 3 times without getting anything new. What is something new he got?
Because he wanted more border control.
But he didn't get more border patrol from them. No.
Yes, he did.
What was the new border security that he got from Canada?
He got more support of people coming that work in Canada to be on Canada's side. And he got more, security updates on, like, their passing.
I don't think so. Remember that even Justin Trudeau cited a bill that passed before he imposed the tariffs.
Well, I did not know that. I thought that was all just because he put the tariffs on. But the other reason why I support Trump is because he is a businessman and he knows what he's doing with his money.
Okay, if he knows what he's doing
And
with his
also,
money,
like-
how come he has fucking 6 bankruptcies and the economic policy that he's implemented now with a BBB is redistributing wealth from the poor to the rich?
I'm sorry, say that again?
A, he has 6 bankruptcies. B, if he took the money he got from his father and put it in the S&P 500, he'd have a higher net worth today than he has now. And C, like, his economic policy should be good if he's a good businessman, but it sucks. Okay, like the big beautiful bill redistributes wealth from the poor to the rich. Literally, it reduces the after-tax income for 80% of Americans. Meanwhile, it increases that same after-tax income for the top 20%. Also, Peyton, I appreciate you for the $8 over on Venmo. Thank you, Peyton.
Okay, but I'm also... Okay, so if that's what you think, I'm not going to fight that. I'm just going to let you say what you want to say.
How do you feel about Donald Trump, like, hating women?
I don't really think he hates women, but I do know I don't fully support Trump for who he is as a person, but I would have rathered Trump than literally any other person that he has ran up against.
Really? So tell me one bad policy that Kamala Harris ran on.
I fucking hate Kamala Harris because she is fake as fuck.
Go into it. Why do you think she's fake?
Because every single prep rally she would go into, she would change her voice onto trying to get that crowd's attention.
Okay, so what you're referencing is when she code switched at a rally in Atlanta, Georgia. Do you know what code switching is?
Not just that. Not just that. Every single convention she has gone to that is like in a different area. For example, she went to one that was for Mexicans. She changed her voice to sound like a Mexican. She changes her. Can I show you?
Yeah.
Look it up. Look it up.
Okay, well,
Dead
what
ass.
do you want me to look up?
Kamala Harris changing her voice.
Kamala is how you pronounce her name.
Camel toe, you mean?
Dude, how are you being like this fucking misogynistic as a woman? Like you're a woman. You should know this. It is not nice to call people camel toe Harris, as that is something that is used by men to be absolute shithead assholes to women. But you're a woman. You should know this.
Well, I'm not being
like
a dickhead
what?
towards women. I'm being a dickhead towards Kamala specifically.
Okay, why does she deserve it? You're saying that, oh, she switched her voice? I'm not even going to try to explain what
Because she's
code
changing.
switching.
She's
One
switching
second.
up and she's
I'm not even
changed.
going to try to explain what code switching is to you. You won't get it. But let me get this clear. Even if code switching was not totally acceptable and actually just a result of systemic racism, and it was bad, how the fuck does that compare to Donald Trump, the 34-count adjudicated felon and also is an adjudicated rapist that also called for the termination of all new Muslims coming into America in 2017, that also talked about how he likes to perv on little girls and walk into the changing rooms while they were changing when he owned Miss Teen USA, that also hit on a 10-year-old girl, that also sexualized his own daughter and agreed with Howard Stern when Howard Stern called his own daughter a hot piece of ass, and also cheated on all three of his wives, one with a porn star, that also told 30,000 lies during his first presidency, that also tried to rig and steal the outcome of the 2020 election, that also does not care about the Constitution, has explicitly called for its termination of December 2022, and violated it 6 times since his term begun. That's also passed legislation that redistributes wealth from the poor to the rich. It has ballooned the deficit by around $9 trillion just with the policies ran on to date, but then he'll turn around and call himself a patriot that cares about fiscal conservatism just to contort any situation he finds himself in to his best interest, even if it's to the worst interests of anybody else. Tell me how those two things compare.
How those two things compare is I would rather have somebody who is okay with telling the truth, telling his thoughts, his feelings, his vibes. And
yeah, he told 30K lies during his first term.
And told everybody what he has done wrong.
No, he hasn't.
But
Show me where. No, he hasn't. Show me where he acknowledged not renting to black people in the 70s. Show me where he acknowledged calling all black people lazy in the 90s. Show me where he acknowledged that it was wrong to say that Obama was born in Kenya, even though he was born in Hawaii, literally trying to limit the job opportunities of a black man because he's black. Show me where he acknowledged that it was wrong to perv on teenage girls at Miss Teen USA. Show me where he's actually acknowledged that he's done anything wrong ever. You won't be able to because that's a lie.
That is not a lie, but obviously you can't do your research on him. But
if you did your research, you'd be able to show me where he acknowledged it. You're the one.
Yes, I would be able to fucking acknowledge that, but obviously we're not right in front of each other, are we?
You don't need to be right in front of me in order to give me a source. Hey, I have a question. Do you think that Kamala Harris is a DEI candidate?
A DEI candidate? No.
Wow. Unexpected. Okay, so I mean, let's just compare like 1-to-1. Okay, like I said, let's just assume that code switching is terrible. Let's assume it's not a result of systemic racism. What's worse, code switching or like raping a woman?
So what's different, completely different there, is that it's his personal life and that it's not her personal life. So I want to know, since Kamala Harris has not been...
you think that code switching publicly is worse than raping privately? You know that he's publicly called for her being jailed?
Don't put words in my mouth.
Also, to call rape personal life, are you like a person? Did you just call rape personal?
What? Yes, rape is very personal.
But you're acting as if it's a part of his personal life that shouldn't be considered when we're opting to determine if he should or shouldn't be president. Why? That's such like a weird thing to say.
Because it's completely different. Because you have two people who are literally spitting lies in your face that will be lying to you for the rest of the time.
What's the biggest lie Kamala Harris ever told? Also, like, I do think that raping somebody is worse than lying to somebody. Just me. I don't know. But what's the biggest lie that Kamala Harris has ever told?
Well, first of all, you're putting words in my fucking mouth, which I really don't appreciate.
So I'm actually just asking you a fucking question, and I'd really appreciate it if you'd answer it.
And if I didn't answer it, go fucking look it up, dude.
You want me to look up your response to a question? Dude, think that over. Think that over in your head. I asked you what you think the biggest lie she has ever told is, and you
I
told
don't
me to
know
look
if
it
she's
up.
ever even told the truth.
Are you serious?
To be honest, I don't think she's ever told the truth.
Oh, okay. So you're basically saying that there's just a really large bucket of lies to pick out of. Okay, well, if the data set is so large, it should be really easy to name one. Like for instance, I'll give you an example. There's a huge data set of colors. I can name one color because the huge data set is so large with ease. Red, orange, blue, pink, green, okay? Because it's such a large data set to choose from, I could do it very easily. So if you're saying that there's a very large data set of lies to choose from that have come out of Kamala Harris's mouth, you should be able to name one with ease. She left. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's the first time I've ever heard like she literally ran those arguments just like a really misogynistic man would. That's got to be a first, like obviously we have like anti-women women on the live all the time. Like I think Janet earlier was a really good example, but like she just like the words that she used, the things that she was even like calling Kamala Harris camel toe Harris, like that level of just like explicit, vocal, loud, internalized misogyny. Like that has to be a new one. What's up, Jacob? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Nice. What year are you born in?
2006.
Okay, what month?
July.
Do you support that train wreck of a President Trump?
I do.
Okay. Peyton, thank you for the $8 over on Venmo. Very kind of you. As well, Stephanie, thank you for the $10. Can I ask her how she can support Trump as a believer of her faith? Ah, fuck. I should have asked her, man. And then Aaliyah, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo, saying I'm still learning a lot about politics and I love watching your streams. That's awesome, Aaliyah. Thank you for the donation. She went private. Good. That's great. Take it away, Jacob. Tell us why you support Trump.
All right. So I basically just work all the time. I don't have a lot of time to just sit and look into everything and read into everything. So I just kind of focus on what affects me personally. And one big thing, it was a promise made by President Trump before he got elected. And that was the big, beautiful budget bill. And I've been watching that. And I just saw, you probably saw that it got passed a couple days ago.
Through the House, yeah.
Through the House. It went through the Senate first, though. So it's officially passed. So now it did.
Oh, fuck. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
And then
you're fucked, man. I'm fucked. We're both fucked. Everybody's fucked.
Okay. No. What? Okay.
We're all fucked. So the Center on budget and policy priorities, they talk about this bill a lot. They talk about how it cuts and guts $1.2 trillion from Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. And two, it adds $3.8 trillion to the deficit. That's almost as much as every dollar spent in the last 4 years by Biden and Harris. And three, it reduces the after-tax income of 80% of Americans. The bottom 20% of income earners in America are going to lose $2,200 of after-tax income per year. The second 20% will lose $1,700. The middle 20% will lose $1,600. And the fourth 20% will lose $1,400. Meanwhile, the top 20% would gain $250 in after-tax income, and the top 1% would gain $25,000 a year in after-tax income. All right, that is one of the largest redistributions of wealth from the poor to the rich that we've seen in the entirety of American history.
How does that affect the rich? How does that? Did you read the bill?
By giving them an additional $25,000.
It doesn't affect the rich. It affects people that, if you read into it and you look at it's also
Wait. You just told me that you don't have enough time to research these things. You're telling me that you've read.
I said I look into the stuff that affects me personally, not everything else.
So you've read this 1,000-page bill.
I've read multiple pages of it. The stuff that affects me, because it says family.
I haven't had the time to read all 1,000 pages. That's
okay,
why I
didn't
rely on institutions such as the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities to categorize all of the addendums and cuts and facts of the bill. And yeah, they say that it redistributes wealth from the poor to the rich, and 80% of American income earners lose money.
Okay. Well, I haven't even made a couple points yet. Basically, over time, if you see that, there's a if you look at who gets the effects, if you make a certain amount of money, I believe it's like 30,000. If you make less than 30,000, it doesn't affect you, and if you make over 80,000, it doesn't affect you.
What are you
So,
specifically talking about?
no tax on overtime.
Okay, well, A, no tax on overtime is applicable to individuals doing under $160,000 per year, and you still get taxed on
That's
overtime.
not
It's just a
true.
tax deduction. That's a wording of the bill. And then B, yeah, that's one section. When we look at all 1,000
I mean, I
pages,
read the bill, and
when we look at all 1,000 pages, okay, and we consider everything in the bill, your after-tax income is still going to be cut.
okay. Also, tips, cash tips, just cash, not electronic tips. If you get a cash tip, you can pocket it, and you don't have to report the tax to your employer. My girlfriend works. She is a server. She makes a lot of tips. It is nice to
So
not have to.
that's also not true. You still have
That
to
is true.
declare and report it, but people not declaring and reporting cash tips is already
Okay,
made them.
but you have to
happens
report
now.
all the money you made. Yes, you're right. You have to report all money you make, but taxes will not be taken out of cash tips.
Okay, well, A, I think that already for a lot of service workers, they don't report their cash tips.
That's illegal.
And then B, it is the case that once again, when we consider the totality of the impact of the BBB, it is the case that still yet it
Okay.
reduces
Well, I have
the
a
after-tax income of 80% of Americans. I don't know why I have to keep on reporting. I don't know why I have to keep on repeating that. I wish that you would listen to me the first time I said it. I understand that you could point out parts of the bill in which seem to benefit the average American. However, when we would consider the totality of the impact of all 1,200 pages of the bill, it is the case that your after-tax income still goes down, and that's a fact as reported, once again, by the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. Now, if you want to give a differing alternative source like the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, in which has meticulously studied all 1,200 pages of the bill to determine what the net impact will be for the average American, feel free to do that. But it is not an incorrect way of rebuttaling what I'm saying is to point out no tax on overtime and tips, because guess what? The Center on Budget and Policy Priorities made those considerations.
Okay. Well, I read into the bill, and I disagree on the money you said.
You can't. Like, in order for you to disagree, you'd have to provide an alternative source that is also considered all 1,000 pages of the bill. Like, imagine this. Imagine this. Like,
I don't-
imagine that we were to flip a quarter 1,000 times.
Look
okay?
up the bill and read it. Just look up the bill and read it.
I
and
would
find me.
Can you like
where-
try to follow along with what I'm saying here? Imagine that we flipped a quarter 1,000 times, okay? And 900 out of the 1,000 times, it landed on tails. Then 100 out of the 1,000 times, it landed on heads. I say, when we consider all of the coin flips, the average coin flip was tails, right? Would it be a valid response for you to say, well, when we look at some of the coin flips, they were heads? Or
Yeah.
can those two things be true at once? Okay, those two things can be true at once, okay? So when I say, when we look at the net impact of the bill, what's going on, Parker? When we see that the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities has indicated that the net impact of the bill will reduce the after-tax income for 80% of Americans, you just simply pointing out particular things that in a vacuum would benefit the average American is not a sufficient response. Because we're not speaking in the vacuum of very particular sections of the bill. We're talking about the net total impact of the legislation.
All right. I mean, I'll look into it more, and I'll do my own research on the net impact of the bill. I just saw that. I mean, I have a 1-year-old daughter, and I saw that it directly impacts me and my girlfriend because I work a lot of overtime.
Okay, man.
And
I've already explained this to you 5 times.
I know, and I just disagree with you said because I literally read exactly
I
the
am-
exact
So do you see this?
money you have to make.
Do you see this table in front of me?
Yes.
Do you know what I want to do right now? I want to take my headset off and I want to bang my head into this table.
Okay. Look up the
five-
bill. Can you look
five,
up the
That's how
bill?
today's been
6,
going.
or 7
Hey.
times? And
Why
the
don't
reason,
you look up the bill? We've been arguing
and the
about it this
reason
whole
I
time.
want to
You
bang
can-
my head into this table 5, 6, or 7 times is because you are so insufferable. The
So why are
reason
you
I-
avoiding looking up the bill? You have a computer.
You know what?
in front of you. Just said it.
I bet. You know what's kind of crazy? I just randomly came in here, no context. I know Dean is 100% fucking right. The same
And you
shit
have no-
happened to me yesterday. I'm not
close.
trolling. I had like two of the most insufferable people I've talked to.
Barker,
I've been
it's been-
so nice to people, and they sent me off the edge, bro.
It's been
How am I
pretty
being-
bad all day. It's just I've been kind of keeping my cool for the most part. You know what, Jacob? Let's see if you could keep up. Can you repeat my argument? I just want to make sure you understand where I'm coming from.
Yes, you said the overtime you have to be in the tax bracket of making $160,000 a year.
So that was a very small, insignificant sub-argument. It was just saying that all overtime for individuals that make less than $160,000 per year can be deducted at the end of the year. But that was a very small sub-argument. Do you remember the
I
big
know
argument?
that's the argument I was
repeated?
focused on because that's the direct rebuttal of the point I was trying to make. the
Oh,
whole time.
okay. So you weren't focused on the other thing that I repeated 7 times? Okay, I'll repeat it an 8th time, but this is going to be the last time. Is that fair? Can you tell me that's fair, just so I don't lose my mind?
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. When we examine the total net impact of all provisions.
Okay,
included
yes, the net
in
impact, yes, sorry.
In the 1,200 page bill, it is the case that the total net impact is negative for the average American. We understand that there's some positives, like no tax on tips or overtimes, as you're defining. That's fine. But there's more negatives than there is positives, which leads to that total net negative impact. Now, my source for this claim is the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. Okay, because the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities has meticulously examined every word of all 1,200 pages of the BBB, and that is the conclusion they've came to. Now, if you want to challenge this conclusion, you'll just merely have to look for other institutions or groups of people that have examined the totality of the bill that would offer a different conclusion on the totality of the bill. But you talking about particular subsections of the bill does not do the trick. Your 2 pages do not combat what the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities has reported. The analogy I gave was saying that we flip a coin 1,000 times, 950 out of the 1,000 times it lands tails, the remaining 50 times it lands head. This is like me saying the total average coin flip was tails. And then you respond by saying, well, 50 times it landed heads. Okay, well, it could land heads 50 times, but still yet the average coin flip would be tails. Just like you could have a few things that benefit you, but the total net impact of the bill is still negative. Do you understand what I'm saying? And if so, can you respond?
Okay, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'd just like to know what sources did you read? I'd just like to do my own research. That's all I'm asking. I want to know what sources you were reading that shows the total, other than the bill, because you admitted you didn't read the 1,000-page bill, which I know I didn't read all 1,000
So
pages.
this is the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities.
Okay, and then who was that posted by?
The Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. The institution itself posted its report.
Okay. All right. And then the last thing, really quick, the last benefit was more tax relief on children. So
Oh, God, yeah. Increasing the child tax credit, guess what? Would have had higher cuts if you voted for Kamala Harris.
Do what? What about higher cuts?
There was more tax relief for kids under Kamala Harris's tax plan.
Yeah, she advocated for $6,000 first year of a child's life, $3,600 through them being 5 years old, and $3,000 through them being 18.
Mm-hmm. And also, I just got to thank a couple people real quick. Godzilla, thank you so much for the $50 super chat over on YouTube. Let's get 500 Godzilla W's. Thank you so much for Love Godzilla. That is so incredibly kind of you. As well as Jay with a $100 super chat over on YouTube. Jay, my man, says, roses are red, violets are blue. A toast to the beast of debaters. That's you. Oh! A poet, Jay. I love you. That's so kind. Everybody, let's get 1,000 JWs. Thank you for the $100, bro. That is, quite frankly, fucking nuts. Thank you so much, Jay and Godzilla. Incredibly kind of you both. I'd also like to thank Brian for the $5. Over on PayPal, Nicole with a $1, Ariel and Melissa with the $20 each. Ariel says, gift, thank you for the $20, Ariel. Shout out to Ariel, that is Ariel, as well as Melissa with a $20 saying, keep it up, Melissa. I will indeed keep it up. Thank you for the $20, Ariel. Thank you for the $20, Melissa. Thank you for the $100, Jay. Holy fuck. Once again, insane. And the $50, Godzilla, once again, nuts. Guys, thank you so much for the love. And I'm sorry if I'm not giving the donations the excitement they deserve. I am tired. It has been a long day.
How long have you been live?
Oh, a little over 4 hours.
A little over 4.
Yeah.
Nice.
So take it away, Jacob.
That's all. That's all I had. I'll do the research.
Okay. Bye,
Look into it
Jacob.
more.
Parker, would you like a raid? I'm ending, and I'm going to go cry. Just kidding. I'm not going to cry. That's going to get clipped, and the whole comment section is going to be filled
No
with
tears.
Connors
No
and
tears.
Timothy's calling me a soy boy.
Yes, I absolutely will. I absolutely will.
Phenomenal. What account do you want to go live on? Oh, by the way, do you remember that guy that came up into your live and was asking if you're attracted to trans women?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he came up into my live today, and he called you gay. And then he said that the definition of homosexuality was being attracted to the same sex. I then asked him if he would be gay if he wanted to give Buck Angel back shots, and to which he responded yes. And he got destroyed, so just know that this person that has been targeting you for whatever reason and being an asshole got clocked.
That's funny. That's funny. I appreciate you, bro. All right, I'm about to go live.
Of course. Have a good one.
Appreciate
Everybody,
you, man.
go show some love to Parker. Go show some love to Parker. He's going to be live on Ant Parker Get a Job on YouTube and TikTok. He's going to be live on YouTube and TikTok, so please go show Parker some love. Okay. I'm done for the night. No, there's somebody in the comment section calling me pathetic that I didn't read the entirety of the bill. Dude, you got to give me more than like 4 days. It's 1,200 pages. I don't know. I'm going to get off. I love y'all. See you tomorrow. Go show some love to Parker. And I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to expense the time on reading the BBB until it passes the Senate.